Well, we're in the middle of conference play, and we've had several injuries, unfortunately, and down to 7 scholarship guys at the present time, and really lacking some depth in the backcourt. Lost a couple of key players. Trying to compete every day and win the next game. And we play Monroe, obviously, on Saturday. It's Coaches versus Cancer and Suits and Sneakers game, as well as a reunion game for our program, and we're looking forward to competing there. Feel like the league is balanced. We've had some really close games, some good games in the early part of the season, and should be an exciting finish.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder, members of the media, star 1 to get in the queue to ask questions. First questions come from Whitney Hayworth. Whitney, please go ahead.
Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Whitney. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us today. You know, obviously, as you mentioned, you've got the injury bug and you've got a young roster. So it's been an up and down year for you, but one player that has come in after being, not eligible after his transfer is Jalen Johnson. So what have you seen from him, and how has he been able to impact this team?
Jalen's done a good job scoring the basketball. Whitney, early in the non-conference season, he had some big games and then became the focal point of the scouting reports and made it a little bit more difficult. And a little bit of that's carried over to conference, but he can score the basketball. He's really done a good job rebounding the ball. Been pleased with that. That's not one of his strengths. And we need him to continue to improve and play well down the stretch.
And another player who was on the roster last year that got playing time and is Cedric Russell. He's been one of those impact players for you. What have you seen from him, not only on the floor, but hopefully off of it as well, to be a leader for this?
Well, he's done a good job. Both the scouts done a good job as captains, leading along with Trajan Wesley. And Cedric has had some foot issues and has not played well in the last 4 games. Missed the game the other night against Texas State with foot pain, and we're trying to get him healthy there. But he's doing a good job leading. He is one of our most experienced players that's in our program right now. As you mentioned, we only have one senior on scholarship, and he's been out and missed, I think, 10 or 11 games this year. So it's been a challenging year, but the guys continue to lead, including Cedric and Jalen and Trajan.
And last one for me, when you look at the remainder of the schedule, obviously there's still so much to play for, not only for you guys, but every single team in this conference. So for the Cajuns to end on a high note and, get in that postseason, what do you have to do?
We have to continue to improve. We've gotten a little bit better. Whitney, we're rebounding the ball well. We've been without Kobe Julian for all of conference. We were 5-3 when he went out, and he was averaging 13-6, and we felt like on his way to being freshman year in the league. And then after the App State win, we lost Malik Wilson, who had a 30-point game that game, and he's been out for the last 4 games. And we don't have guys like them right now that can do the things that they do, along with Trajan Wesley from a guard standpoint. So we just have to continue to get better and do the things that we're getting better at, and try to get back in the race a little bit and improve to help our seeding and have a chance to win it. The way the conference tournament's set up is certainly a disadvantage for a team that's right there and falls down in the bottom half of the league. It's going to be quite a challenge.
Thank you, Whitney. Our next questions come from Scott Prather with ESPN 1420. Please go ahead, Scott.
Coach, you mentioned in your opening statement you felt like the conference was balanced this year. Has there been any surprises to you, something that maybe is unexpected to this point for the Sun Belt this year?
No, not really, Scott. The teams, Georgia State has played very well. I think they were picked in the middle of the league like us, and with a new coach coming in, Rob's done a good job, and they inherited some good players and have really done a good job coaching their group and added to it. So those guys have played well, and probably the best team that we've played to date.